So I was yesterday I was meditating as per the instruction of the previous day of our guided meditation, and I observed that I stay with the breath as usual. That the breath arises in my awareness and passes away. Breath arises and passes away, and sometimes another images or sound, background sound, even some junk sound comes up, arises and passing away. So all this nama rupa is arising and passing away. So I could see when it passed away, the awareness is still there, the sakshi is still there. That means this is what that Buddha Vipassi was saying. Nama rupa pachaya sarayatana, sarayatana pachaya nama rupa in DN 16. So I am in that state. But suddenly, after some time, I cannot, my capability to stay in this state is almost 3-4 minutes right now, which was earlier half 30 seconds, 4 year time. So I could stay in this state for 3-4 minutes. And then suddenly something happens that some Nam Rupa, my consciousness get attached to, and I have no control over it. It just get attached. I could not see that, but I could see after some time. I could analyze that I have caught one of the nama rupa, and then the sakshi has gone. That means the atta has arisen. Now this is what I call it sarayatana, because the sarayatana means ayatana means the home in which someone is staying, and that someone is atta. So ayatana for atta. Now atta has arisen. Now this atta will not easily go. It want to stay alive. So it will not give up the sarayatana, but it will move from one ayatana to another ayatana. Because we are doing sitting meditation, it is always mano ayatana. Sometimes it goes to sound, sometimes it goes to physical body somewhere, and sometimes to mano. So this three ayatana mostly it keeps on iterating over. It doesn't give up. And then after some time, it gets tired and then it dies off. Then I come back to my Sakshi Bhav, and then I could see my breath arising again. So this is what occurred to me yesterday night when I was meditating.
Very nice, very profound. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. I'm telling you, we are very fortunate to hear from you. It's good. Okay. So now we come to the Cittanupassana. So that means the new way of looking at Satipatthana is working. I'm very happy about that. Okay, so it's good. So now Sabbakaya Patisamvedi is what we were talking about. Now in this we are bringing in Citta, because the Vedana is already there. Patisamvedana, that Samvedana is already there. So the Vedana comes because of the Phassa, and Phassa happens because of Salaytana, and Salaytana happens because of the Namarupa, and Namarupa happens because of the Vijnana. So now that circle is seen, that is Namarupa, Vijnana Pachaya, Namarupa Pachaya, Salaytana Pachaya, Phassa Pachaya, Vedana. So when we look at Vedana, it has the Nama on one side, the Rupa on other side. So the Citta, mind, consists of both Nama and Rupa. Now the objective here is to transact as though you're transacting with someone. Having practiced that with breath, that you're transacting with someone, you have to follow through in transacting with someone. Okay, the first thing you will see is that if there is a Vedana feeling because of the contact, three feelings are going to arise. First and foremost, there is a neutral feeling. Just a neutral feeling. It has no feeling, but we can call it as neutral. But that is non-recognizable because of avidya. That's the first feeling you get. Now, let's take an example. May is not on video now. But let's say she puts on the video, and Shreyas also puts on the video, and Ravindra also puts on the video, and other two of you are on the video, and I am on the video. Now, video is a video. Camera is a camera. Body is a body. If I can stay that much, it's neutral. So the first impression of feeling is neutral with anyone, anything, unless the nama rupa comes, meaning unless the definition comes through adivachana, which is describing what it is. Now, the first description after Citta is Mano, Manasan, Hadayan, Pandharan. If we take that cycle, I start with that I, like what Sachin said, that Atta Bhava, which has taken house in that ayatana, will now recognize through the Mano Dhatu and Mano Vinyana Dhatu what that object is. So Mano, Manasan is there. Then the Hadayan, because it's already in the Hadaya, in the heart. So the person is created in the heart, or the thing is created in the heart. So the Bhuta happens in the heart. So the Bhuta now is that it has to recognize. So it requires adivachana and patigha. So the patigha has happened in the heart, so it has to be defined what it is. If I define, it loses its neutrality. Because now it is sankhara. Okay. Now the fun part is you get only two of them. One is that you get sukha vedana, another one you get dukkha vedana. Clear? So the sukha vedana, your chitta should be saragamba chittam. Dukkha vedana, the chitta would be sadosamba chittam. Fine. The object is likable, saraga. The object is dislikable, sadosa. This is what I need to see. Like Sachin, what you explained just now. If you can put that onto the chitta, you will find only these two. Raga, dosa, raga, dvesha, raga, dvesha, raga, dvesha, and everything. Okay, now for the samoha is avidya. Meaning, I am not able to find the neutral. Okay, now I accept. Accept as a witness, sakshi or sakhi, that at present, when I see this 6 people, number one, people are formed. Clear? So that means only 2 characteristics remain now. Either I will like or I will dislike. If the person were not to be formed, as explained in the Dhatu Vibhanga Sutta, Cha Dhaturo Puriso. That means if you say a person is made out of 6 elements, if that is seen, then you only get into the neutral. So then you can see the person arising and the person passing away. And then you are in Vijja. Okay, so now when I say I am seeing my mind, you are seeing the mind based upon the feeling. So your objective is to watch the feeling, not the body feeling. Now we are out of that body feeling thing. Now we are only looking at the Ajjatta Pahitta and then the Samudaya Vyaya. Now the culmination of that is you have Sukha Vedana, you have understood Sukha Vedana, Dukkha Vedana, Dukkha Vedana, Adukha Sukha Vedana, then Samisa Sukha, Niramisa Sukha, Samisa Dukkha, Niramisa Dukkha. We've seen all of that as a witness. In each arises the chitta. what does that mean? You have an experience of sukha, and you feel sukha. It's not you are in sukha, you feel sukha because of this chitta. So now you're watching the feeling on one side and the chitta which is bringing that feeling on the other side, and they both arises and pass away at the same time. Okay. Now you see there is nothing called ajjatta sukha and bahidda sukha. There is nothing called ajjatta dukkha and bahidda dukkha. There is nothing called ajjatta adukka sukha and bahidda adukka sukha. So all these are mental constructs. So now I can see it. When I see it means I got my chakku. Yes, Sachin.
Two questions. One is, let's say Namarupa has not arisen yet, that is Upekha. But Namarupa has arisen and then there is a neutral Samvedana which is Adhuka Sukha, right? Or both
Yes.
are same?
No, no, both are not same.
Huh.
If you have eliminated Nama and Rupa completely for that moment, then you are in Upekha,
Huh, exactly.
equanimity,
Which is not Adhuka Sukha.
which is the fourth jhana, what we are talking about. Because
Correct.
there is no dukkha, there is no sukha. You are given up for the bodily sukha and the dukkha and the mental sukha and the dukkha. So there is nothing like that. So you are in upekha.
Huh.
Example. That we have to always talk with the practical example. Male versus female. Okay. How do you define a male? You have to define. There's no other way. So how does Buddha define? Yahi akare hi, yahi linge hi, yahi nimitte hi, yahi uddeshe hi. Four. So I don't have to go through the body thing and say that this is male. Yahi akara. This kind of shape. Yahi linga. Three kind of linga. Pullinga, masculine, strilinga, feminine, napumsakalinga, neutral. Nimitta, symbol. Long hairs versus cut hairs. Mustache versus no mustache. Or any other body part which resembles or makes somebody feel that he or she makes it as he or she. If it comes to LGBTQ, we don't know what it is. So we are confused. Other than that, we know he or she. So our language also will work for he and she. So you put a akara to that. Even though I say he, a male is created in the mind. I have not named anyone. I didn't say a name. I just said he. You will not make it as female. You will make it as male. If I say she, you will immediately make it as a female. Even though in the he and she as a word, no male or female exist.
Yeah, so non-duality of any kind
Non-duality of any kind
is Upekha.
is upekha. The moment I see May is a female, the remaining of us are male, the Nama side has picked up. For what? For the Rupa. Which Rupa are we talking about? It is just Pathavi, Apo, Tejo, Vayu, Varna, Rasa, Gandha, Oja, but now is seen as what? May. Right? So what is he asking? In the Maha uh, Nidana Sutta, what is he asking? Ananda, if there were no name side, can an impression come on the form side? If there were no impression on the form side, can there be any impression coming on the name side? If the name side and the form side were never meet, would any impression, verbal or formal, be indicated? And since the formalization has to happen, you require something to be defined on the name side or what is impressed on the form side. And to identify the form side, you need to have some resistant impression coming on the name side. So the name side has a resistance and the form side has a description. Now, to call this what it is, you need to have the resistance. Because the resistance is happening, you define it what that resistance is. And then he says, this is the origin, Nidana. This is the Samudaya. Four things he says there. It's most important for us to work out on Chitta.
Let's not call it resistance, let's call it striking.
Striking, whatever.
Yeah.
When strikes it,
Because when I say Eto, Eso Namama, Eso Namaha Masmi, I feel like I am not registering it, and that's why I could keep it separate.
fine. No worries. So striking through. Fine. No, it's word anyway. So whatever word helps you to understand what it is, it's fine. So let's not get caught up on the words. So the basic aim of Cittanupassana is to see this magical illusion of form side which strikes on the name side and the name side which defines the form. And that gives you an akara. Without that, all of us are shapeless. If that is true, then your vidya opens up. Now you're done dhite mattam. So you've crossed one. Dhite mattam.
But let's say now Namarupa has arisen. Okay,
Yes.
the striking has happened. So now coming to Vedana side, uh, I can easily say, is there any resistance in me toward this experience? So which is Dukkha Vedana, right? It's not easy to ask question like, what is the Vedana? And then answer will come, it is Sukha, it is Dukkha, because this is very subtle, right? It's not an emotion which is bursting out generally. It is day-to-day normal looking experience which is for layman, everything is neutral. So we have to ask question like, is there any resistance toward this object in me? No means either it is Sukha or Asukh Vedana. So this way I can move forward. But how can I discriminate between Sukhat and Asukh Vedana?
Wait. First we have to get rid of these two extremes. If you try working out in the middle, it will not work. First, we should cut out these two, and automatically it comes to the center, and you know what is neutral. Because avidya cannot be removed by another avidya.
So if I cut out, there is nothing called Vedana. There is
No,
Upekha only.
there is. So now you find the adukha sukha vedana. There's another vedana. And in fact, in many suttas, Buddha explains that it's very hard ananda to get the adukha sukha vedana. In fact, it is there in um, Dhatu Vibhanga Sutta. It's also there in Nidana Sutta also. In fact, he gives exposition on Vedana itself. If you've seen on the section of Vedana itself, so deep he explains on the Vedana itself. Anyway, don't worry. So let's first,
We'll come back later.
yeah, because you take too many things at the start. So first thing for us is, am I having a chitta of sukha, which is giving me raga? Let's say I go to a hotel or a restaurant. I am choosing what I want to eat. So it's not that I should not order that, what I want to eat. I need to know saragam va chittam pajanati. In my chitta, the raga has arisen. That's all. witness consciousness. It's witnessing that when I'm gone to the restaurant, I'm asking for the food I like. And he says that, sorry, sir, we don't have this. You can take this one. Sadosam va chittam, sadosam chittam pajanati. I know that I'm feeling uncomfortable or upset or agitated, worried, or whatever that can be, and just note it. Just note it at that moment. Not do anything. Not struggle. Not try to make it liking. No. I shouldn't be making up things. It's already made up. It's already sankhara. There's no need to make further more sankharas on that sankhara. So now I do this much and I continue eating. Whatever is given, I continue eating, experiencing the pleasure or the pain. Pleasure or the pain. Pleasure or the pain in that each morsel going is a pleasure or there's a pain. Clear. So I'm becoming mindful of eating. Now, after finishing, there's a neutral feeling where in the stomach. Stomach is filled up. So now that arises adukha sukha vedana. If I can catch that vedana, the mind registers that this is adukha sukha vedana. So now what happens? Samoham va chittam is replaced. Vita moham va chittam, vita moham pajanati. Now there's no moha. Because in that filled up condition, what moha will you have? If I forget it, it's a separate issue. So my practice here is first to do with sukha and dukkha and see, now I'm feeling stomach is full. Oh, good. Now I'm watching the breath and watching the stomach being filled up. This literal calmness of the body because the stomach is filled up. So just watch that. Keep on watching it till I get hunger back. Can I do that? That means I can literally meditate for 4 hours. Doing any work, what is being done, office work or housework or whatever, just be aware of the stomach getting emptied. That's all I need to do. Not any exertion or anything. Just be aware. Oh, slowly, 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 the contents of the stomach is going away. So, yes.
So I guess it. Oh, sorry. I guess in a sense, if there's no raga and dvesha, you can start see the moha. Is what you're saying.
Yes. Generally, we are caught up with raga and moha, so raga and dvesha, so we can't see the moha at all.
Yeah, but moha is the underlying foundation of raga and dosa anyway.
Yes, but to catch the moha, you should first catch the raga. If you try to catch the moha, it is already in avidya. So you can't catch avidya through avidya. You can only catch avidya through vidya. So for that, you need to first understand why am I. Vedavitaka Sutta, you see, he is not talking about moha. He is talking about why my mind is relishing going into the worldly thing and why it is not going towards nekkhamma. So there is some pleasure. So it's going towards pleasure, asada. It's not seeing adinava. Nissarana is what we are talking about when we are in neutral. So to get into neutrality, first we should get into these two, including Salayatana Vibhanga Sutta. He first gives that. Gaha, that is householders, happiness.
Actually, neutrality, the right word should be boredom. Because when you are aduk asuk, there is a tendency to move away to raga.
Correct.
But if the tendency of moving to a raga is not there, then it is upekha.
Right. But whatever way we want to take it, it's good. But what I'm saying is we need to see this plurality of existence, which is raga and dvesha, like profit and loss and fame and defame like that. It is always dual. The neutral is Advaita, to be honest, non-dual.
If you are not happy with neutral, I mean, I will repeat the again sentence. If you are not happy with the neutral, you are in moha.
Yes,
If you are happy with the neutral, you are you are toward like our
yes.
the niramisa sukha, you can say. If
Yes,
you are happy with the neutral, it is niramisa sukha.
correct. Got it. That's correct. Absolutely right. Yes, Aryu.
Uh, so I'm thinking of I was reminded of the Majjay Sutta, right? The middle. So it says
Hmm.
dukkha is on one side, sukha is on one side, and adukkha sukham is on the middle. And so
Hmm.
the tanha is the bridge. So I guess once you're not on either side, this adukkha sukham is still sitting on the bridge. So because craving is still kind of there. Only
Yeah.
when you remove the craving, then all three are gone. Is that
Yeah.
what you're
Only
saying?
you remove the craving, then you can happily stay there.
Yeah, my dear friend, it's right. But to get into that majje, right, is the difficult part. First, you should catch the other two thieves, and they will take you to the this thief, which
Yeah.
can be consciousness,
Yeah.
can be whatever craving or whatever it is. And when the craving is abandoned, then you are in upekha.
Yes, yes. Our practice should be raga and dosa only. I
Correct.
totally agree. This will happen later.
Yes. Yeah, may go ahead.
So let me just clarify this. So you can have craving for neutrality. Is that what you're saying as well? And so you have
Yeah.
to get rid of that as well.
See, there is
Right.
one sutta where Buddha says, or in fact, Ananda asks, should we have craving for liberation? And Buddha says, yes. Craving is required for liberation. Is chanda required for liberation? And Buddha says, yes. So then Ananda speaks this to another monk who would have come there, and he says that yes, it is required. And that monk says that how worse is the teaching of the Buddha? I don't understand. Because you are saying first you have craving, and then you are saying you should never have craving. It looks like an unachievable. And for that, Ananda gives a simile. He says, I'll give you a simile, maybe you'll understand. While coming to this arame, wherever that is, he says, didn't you get a park? So didn't you have an interest to go to the park? And he says, yes, because the park came in between, I had to go through the park. While you were in the park, didn't you have an interest to see this and that in the park? And he says, yes. So when you finished the park and you came to our monastery here, did you not drop off that park and the experience of the park? And he says, yes. In the same way, you should have the craving and interest for liberation. And once you have reached there, it will automatically go away. Okay. So craving has to be cut through craving, interest has to be cut through interest. So you should have craving for neutrality. You should have craving for all nine jhanas also. If you say, okay, craving cut, tanha khayo is written, right? So I want to take it in a very literal sense. No craving. That means no existence. That means you have to take a gun and shoot yourself down right now, because what else will you do? For everything you require an interest and you require a craving for that. Craving is not a bad word. Craving will make an attachment. That is the only problem with craving. You get attached to the sukha or the dukkha which comes along with the craving. A craving per se doesn't create anything. If I didn't have craving for Buddha Dhamma, you think I can be talking like this from morning till night? You tell me that. Now, if I want to go into the neutrality, Buddha Dhamma is craving. So that means there is no liberation.
You will fall down right now.
Yeah, and let us say Sachin has been um, researching on Buddha Dhamma. He's opening hundreds of tabs, going through it, understanding. His craving, his basic craving. There's nothing else other than craving.
All kind of craving is a fuel. That's what said, right? It makes you keep on going.
Yes,
The day will come when you say enough of craving. Then only you will realize the real upekka.
yes. Are you go ahead?
Yeah, I was thinking, I guess in a sense, this path is like a suicide of the six senses, because it's the six senses working on killing itself.
No, that there's another sutta that reminds me. There's another sutta where a monk comes and a Brahmin comes and says, "Your dhamma is horrible. You teach annihilation. Why? Ultimately, you're saying, come here and kill yourself."
I always many times think that this is part of suicide.
Yes, it's a
Only,
part of,
only a daring people can come here.
yeah, because you ultimately lose yourself. Yeah, may did I answer or did I make you even more confused than what it was?
That was useful. Thank you. So I guess so then I was just trying to figure out then upeka, how is it different from neutrality? So is that just neutral without craving for neutrality?
Can I ask you one question, May? Can you give me a fruit which is only grown in New Zealand, which you have eaten?
Kiwi.
Me. How does it taste?
Sour. Sweet. Don't know.
Okay, you are putting labels. I want to
Yeah.
experience the taste.
Don't know. It's a mixture of sweet and sour. You
No,
can't.
you have,
You can't.
you can't. So you
I
have
can't
only
let you
one.
experience it. No.
You have only one choice: fly to Bangalore or sponsor me to come to Auckland, and then give me a box of kiwi where I eat and they say, "Ah, this is what you're talking about. That is upekha."
Mm.
Okay. Now the difference between neutrality and upekha is the kiwi is neutrality. The taste what gave you of that neutrality is upekha.
Right. When
Right.
you
So
really
now,
experience neutrality.
no,
No.
you understand through wisdom the neutral feeling of the heart, which surpasses all the three feelings, which is the pleasant, the painful, and the neutral. Got it?
I think
And
so.
that is the state of upekka, equanimity. Your equanimous means you're still, the mind is completely still. Neither it goes on the left, nor it goes on the right, nor it stays in center. That's what the reason he says in the Bahya Sutta. Na this, na that, na ubhayam antare.
I guess I can only experience it like that in during meditation, but not when I'm doing things awake.
That's fine. I mean, you don't have to beat yourself to death. It's okay.
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to say
In
is
in a neutral feeling, if you are still, unmovable, unshakable, that means there is complete upekka. Otherwise, the neutral feeling will make you restless.
neutral feeling when it comes like what Shreyas has put there. So if you are in deep sleep, that is neutral feeling. That's not upekka. That is not equanimity. You are just neutral because there is no senses which are operating to do something. So you are in just neutrality. The Turiya state, fourth, is actually equanimous. The state of the fourth. So if you were to put the first jhana and second jhana and third and the fourth jhana, and we call it as Jagrata Avastha, that is waking state of the mind, is the first jhana, and the dream state of the mind is the second jhana. The sleepy state of the mind, or the what is that? The sleeping, the deep sleep state of the mind is a third jhana where you are experiencing sukha. Actually, if you have a deep sleep, you have sukha. And when you have a complete equanimous experience beyond the sleep, how do you experience it? Like I explained about the kiwi fruit. And then you know you have the fourth jhana, or the turiya state. Now, can I enter into first jhana? Yes. How? Understand the waking state. The senses are operating, but you are not operating. You are in sampajanya, or you are in pajanana. You know. Then 24/7, you can be in first jhana.
Yeah,
Not
all your thoughts are about knowing,
knowing.
about your thinking, but about knowing. Like how is my breath? Is this vitaka, right? Without through vitaka only continuously I go to my breath. How is my breath? How is my breath? How is my breath? Then only vichara happens. Breath is
Exactly.
like this. Breath is like this. Initially I have to keep move my manasikara, keep moving every moment. I have to bring back to my nose. How is my breath? How is my breath? How is my breath? It is vitakka vichara. Instead of thinking about worldly thing, I am vivechehi kamehi vivechehi akusale dhammehi. I am not doing anything akusal. I am not doing anything sensual, but I am keep doing something. I am thinking, how is my breath? How is my breath? How is my breath? So first jhana.
Correct. Yes, May. I think she
So,
entered into first jhana.
so like Sachin says, when I'm just, I guess, meditating on the breath, you're still doing things, but you just feel really calm because you're just aware of the breath. But you don't have any thoughts. So, your mind's not flying anywhere, and then you can feel very calm in that state. So it's not like a sitting meditation, but you can still feel very calm. I mean, I guess
You
that's.
don't have any thought of sensuality, and you don't have any thought which is akusal. But you might be thinking about dhamma, about vipassana, how to meditate. All these thoughts is also okay, because that ultimately it will result into understanding. So not only thinking about breath, thinking about meditation, but thinking about dhamma, thinking about teaching. Ultimately, you are still in first jhana.
Okay.
Okay. So, May, just to clarify that, including what Sachin is saying, is like this. There are 5 stages. First stage is Savitakka. It's actually discursive thinking. That means you have created a separation of thinking where the mind goes on sensual, you're cutting the sensual. Okay. So that is what you are going to do first. Then you do the second one, Savichar. Continuously contemplate or ponder or whatever you want to use that English word to be, that you keep on that. If you're taking breath, like what Sachin rightly pointed out, my object is breath, Savitakka. Savichara is how my breath is. Is it short or is it long? Is it short or is it long? And that's all. Then when you get it, immediately you have piti, joy, that you got it. Then you get sukha. And instantly you get sukha. Because now the breath is not going anywhere. It waits for you.
Yeah, you will reach a point where you will realize that I don't need vitakka anymore.
So you drop vitakka vichara, so you get into piti second.
You will know that there is no need of this continuous questioning. And you will, without questioning, you know the breath, that is second jhana.
Correct. And then you drop that, knowing the breath as breath. You enter into the third, which is Sukha. And you're always in Sukha.
Yeah, I call
Now,
it joy. I call it joyful breathing.
joyful breathing. And then suddenly, just like the kiwi fruit, you enter into the state, which is the fourth jhana. Because the Sukha which was there diminishes and you lose interest on the dualities, which is so manasa do manasa, that is mental pleasurable and mental painful, sukha and dukkha, which is bodily pleasure and bodily pain. Now you transcend both. Like a person eating the kiwi fruit, instead of saying it is sour, it is sweet, it is both, it is this way and that way, he just eats the fruit. And somebody were to ask him, what fruit did you eat? Don't ask me. Come on, there should be something. Yes, but don't ask me. At least tell me how was it. Don't ask me. Because there's nothing to define there. So there is equanimity. Your equanimity is only when you don't define. Till the time you don't define, there's equanimity. The moment I start defining, this fruit, which fruit? Now you are coming down and down and down, and then create vitakka vichar. Right? So the chitta in this stage, what it is? So it has crossed how many stages? If you, in this example. So we got into Sankittam. That means in the kiwi fruit example, the chitta which arose when we were talking and we were never mindful. So I will tell you what I experienced. It became constricted to experience that kiwi. Now Vikittam happened immediately after that because it got scattered. What do you mean scattered? It started defining what is kiwi. But kiwi is an Australian fruit. How it is available in New Zealand? In fact, kiwi is also sold in Bangalore, for that matter. They're growing kiwi fruits. So what's the difference between a kiwi fruit grown in Bangalore and kiwi fruit grown in, say, Perth or in Adelaide or some other place in Australia, and what is grown in Auckland? But kiwi is actually a New Zealand fruit. It's not Australian. And that's the reason that cricket team is also called kiwi. Because that's the fruit of that nation. But it's grown in Bangalore. So that is Vikitta. Then Mahagatam. When I was explaining the four states, that is the waking state, the sleep state, and the dream state, and the deep sleep, and the fourth state, Mahagata, expanded. So the chitta at that point was Mahagata. Okay. Then we started talking about the kiwi bag, so Amahagatam. Then again I was talking to you about Upekha, so it made my experience Sautara.
Mahagata is much better explained by this Rupert Spira, like limitless.
Yeah, limitless.
Not infinite. Infinite looks like we thinking, right? We are going into space element. Limitless means I know I cannot feel the boundary of my body, right?
Yes.
So when you are with object, you are limited. When you are without object, you are limitless because object limits you.
Right, absolutely right. So object perception limits you. So what I did when May explained me about the fruit, I cut the fruit. made it animitta. So the chitta becomes mahagata. Because there's no limit to that now. When you bring back the fruit, limited to fruit, mahagata. Right? Sauttara and anuttara. Sauttara. What do you mean by sauttara?
That I don't know.
Sauttara means that it is able to penetrate into the object, the reality of the object.
Nature, Dhamma, okay.
Actual Dhamma is penetrated, seen, and can be called as a supreme state of the mind.
So you know four noble truth by now. When you are
Was that?
so you know four noble truth when you are Sauttara.
Yes, Sauttara. Anuttara is when you finish that, it's done. Then the last chitta, what you experience, is samahitam.
Samahitam means samadhi, parallel to samadhi, right?
Yes. So
Samahitam is always used to samadhi.
yes. So now the kiwi fruit no longer exists. It is eaten, done with it.
Yeah, but the sequence always matter in Buddhism. So
Yes.
first you are limitless, then you are questionless, right? You have no, I mean, you understood, and then you are in samadhi. That's what they mean to say. Now, the ultimate samadhi.
See, with this example, I'm telling you how you can see the chitta, and that is how it will flow if you really observe. Right? It's all about observation, right? All pajanati, 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 pajanati only. If we are distracted, we will not be able to see that. So in the last example of the kiwi, when she said, I can't, and I started explaining, it's like putting, you can give it the fruit and I'll eat it and say, okay, then what happened to my chitta? It became samahita, and when I finished the fruit, asamahita, then it gave me vimukta from that fruit. And if I start working out on the fruit, it becomes avimukta. Want the taste back again. So from vimukti of that, have come back. So when we were speaking about the vimukta, akuppa cheto vimukti is unshakable of that. And that's what we need to attempt.
So when we finish our lunch, we are liberated from eating.
Exactly.
But it is not a kuppa liberation because we are going to come back at dinner.
Yes, we are ready again to do the same stuff. And we are as much interested as it were before, starting with saragam vachittam, sadosam vachittam, samoham vachittam, like that. So if I were to take you from one to all, so kiwi fruit, nama and rupa. So I want to know what it is. I got into saragam vachittam. Then she explained me, let's say that vitaraga happened because now I know what the fruit is. But I want it now. Sadosam vasit chittam. I postponed it. Vitadosam vachittam. But I know that there is a kiwi fruit. Samoham vachittam. I don't want to know what that kiwi fruit is. Vitamoham vachittam. Then I want to enjoy that somehow, if not today, some other day. Sankittam chittam. And because it's sankitta, the vikitta also happens. But if I were to make it limitless, remove the kiwi fruit because it's nama and rupa, mahagatam. I could not do the splitting of Nama and Rupa amahagatam. Then I saw what is there in the fruit. There's no fruit at all. Sauttaram. I got caught up with the detail of the fruit. Anuttaram. And then I entered into Samadhi, which is Samahitam. I could not enter into Samadhi at that point in time. Asamahitam. I came to know that the kiwi fruit or any fruit is meaningless. It is anatta. So which made me vimukta at that point in time. So I entered into Nibbana.
So for any nama rupa or for any experience, I can get into this stages of chitta.
Yes. So now what I need to do is with every feeling, I can implement this because feeling arises with chitta. As the feeling arises due to rupa, so the feeling arises with the chitta. So on one side is the mind, another side is the body. So in between is the feeling. One who understands the feeling understands all. So you cut the feeling, both will die. Yes, are you?
So I guess what you're using feeling as a reflection to see the chitta cannot be directly see that. It's an inference, let's say. You see what's the state of the chitta by seeing what feelings are coming up. Is it the right way of understanding?
In the Mahavedana Sutta, he gives you step-by-step instruction. If you have read it, we have gone through it many times, but if you remember, there's a question asked. What is this feeling? What is this vijnana? It says, you can open it up, better thing, so that you are open. Have a look at it. We'll do it together. Good. Open. Maybe you can share that screen also. Now that you are recording it, you can share it. We'll go only through that portion where he gives what is vijnana. In fact, he starts with panya. Then he says vijnana. Then he says vedana. Then he talks about sanya. 4 things. Most important. This is the right time to do that because you will now see all the chittas. MN 43. But I was not able to see anything here.
Because I'm just showing on my tab. Because I'm recording, I don't need to show it to you. You mean to say I'm presenting?
Okay.
Okay,
No,
sure.
no.
I can present. I mean, yeah. Here. So first is vijnana. Is that
Yes. So then first thing he talks about the pajanati, right? Panya.
yeah, panya.
Starting itself he talks about panya.
Let me make it bigger. It's hard for you to see.
That's okay. Panya yancha vidyam. So he says, can the panya be separated out of vijnana? And he says no. Then the question comes, can then the feeling be removed from the vijnana? He says no. Can the sanya can be removed from that? No. Right?
Yeah, so basically Alu's question was only Vedana to reflect Chitta. No, actually it is Sanya also main.
Yes.
Because Nama Rupa is the main thing, right? The Nama Rupa has joined, so Sanya has arrived, not only Vedana. So based on Sanya and Vedana, you can reflect the complete Chitta. If there is no Nama Rupa, there is no Sanya, there is no Vedana, then you are Mahadgatam.
Yes.
Correct. Very right. So in the kiwi fruit example, if the perception were not to happen, the sanjanana wouldn't happen on the kiwi, no feeling can be experienced of kiwi. Correct? Yes, May.
So when you say no perception comes in, do you have to be like not interested? If I said kiwi and you were just not interested, then I guess
No,
you
no, no,
wouldn't.
no, 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 that is not how it is. You learn the art of breaking the nama and rupa. It's not disinterestedness.
Okay.
Yeah, now, if you say disinterested, it is the dukkha vedana now.
Yes.
You have crossed
So
that line. You have crossed that line. So whatever you say, it is dukkha now.
okay, so then maybe I guess because you already know what it is, any fruit. What if you know that like that's patowi, or then does that cut it?
Okay, let me ask you this. What is May?
Patowi apo tejo.
No, 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 no. Don't
No.
give me a textual answer. Don't give me a textual answer. What is
What is
May?
me? A human.
Okay, a human. Fine. What is a human?
And Homo sapien.
Oh,
One that
fine.
can
Homo
think. An
sapien.
animal that
Okay.
can think.
No. Homo
No.
sapien. Fine, no worries. And what is a Homo sapien? No, wait for a second. May. So, like, I
The
think
area is given.
Arya has given. So the way of answering is not like that. Whatever Arya has put or whatever is said by Buddha. So this is the akara, this is the shape, this is the linga, which is the gender, this is the nimitta and uddesha, purpose. If we don't put that in a proper way, we will keep on defining it, which is idiotic. So for convention's sake, you have to say these four things. This is how it shapes. What shape? Erect. If it is erect, it is human. If it is bent, it is either an animal or it's an insect or bird or whatever that is. 4 legs, 8 legs, 10 legs, 20 legs, whatever that is. But as far as humans goes, you have 2 hands, 2 feet, spine erect. So erected spine is human, non-erected spine is non-human.
Yeah, this is how the mind discriminates. Otherwise, if you say animal, this and that, it is defining layer by layer by layer.
Yeah, which is
Even
sankhara.
even if you are simplifying in your definition, but it is one definition over other.
Correct. So it doesn't make any sense. So what I need to do is I need to just say what it is. It's bent or not bent. That's all. Bent means animal, non-bent means human. That's it. Over. Now, if somebody were to ask, are they not living beings? Yes. Are you not living being? Yes. So, can you call them as satta? Yes. Sabbe satta, sabbe bhuta, like that. So, all. Now, it even more clarified, meaning the mind didn't pick it up, saying that, oh, this is me. So, unless we get the art of understanding name and form, which is projected on the consciousness, the chitta cannot be seen because you're caught up with the Vedana, the feeling. So, panya, wisdom, vijnana, consciousness, Vedana, feeling, sanya, perception, all go together. So, you have to only understand by wisdom. So, what he says, panya has to be developed, vijnana has to be understood. So, what are we trying to do? We're trying to understand the chitta through the chitta. So in the kiwi fruit example, May, what you gave, I asked you what's the fruit of New Zealand. You said kiwi. So it's like asking, is it neutral feeling? Did you get neutral feeling, Vilas? Yes, because I don't know what is kiwi. But that is not upekka. You eat the kiwi fruit, but don't get attached to kiwi fruit because there was no kiwi fruit in the first place. What it did is to just fill up the stomach, and hence you are in vimukta. Call by whatever name. Today I am happy with calling kiwi, tomorrow I will call it a iki. What is iki? I don't know. There are some tribe and they were fighting saying that why call kiwi, so they made it iki. Yes.
Yeah, I was just thinking, even the first time someone explained, you were thinking, what is kiwi? And they describe. And even without seeing any form, anyways, even when just asking this question, imagination already starts. So you would
Yes.
have already make it sukha in a way, right? Because now has
Yes.
value now.
Yes. Because something new is always valuable. Anything that is new. So May, in case if I were to come to Auckland, every place I would be saying, wow, so nice. Wow, so nice. And you'll be feeling, Vilas, what is so nice? I go on this road every day. Hey, what a building. Why? Because of what? Why? Because in the Vijnana, what is happening? The Panya is not there. It's only the way.
Yeah, maybe his laptop battery got over again, like before. You can take a screenshot at you. Oh, it's anyway recorded.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm back. The internet here went off for whatever reason, even though I'm in office. Okay, so anything of these kinds can be accepted, expected, or unexpected. It's called as viparinama dukkha.
So when you sorry, can I quickly ask? So let's say you've now been around Auckland for a while, and then you get used to it. Then you could say you're this name and I guess it's nothing new anymore. So then you can be in Uzbeka, I guess. Can you be
No,
equanimous now that you no?
no.
That
What happens
moha.
is
That is
the
moha.
curiosity. Like I love the word of Ariyu. I love the word of Ariyu. He keeps on using the word called I'm just curious.
No, actually, I have been observing, moving around, all everything. I am not defining. I'm not. See, right now also I'm looking at my room. There are a lot of objects. I'm not defining, but I have a feeling of I know. For example, there is a fan in front of me. I'm not saying it a fan, but there is a moha saying, I know, right? There is no newness in me, newness in that. So the feeling is neutral, but it is moha. Everything is known, this ball is known, everything is known. So there is nothing new. Actually, I'm looking around to find anything new. And I'm not finding anything. That doesn't mean I'm not see it feels like I'm not defining, but everything is I'm defining as I know. That is nama. If there is suddenly something unknown right now in this room, it will catch me now.
Correct.
So that definition is there. I know everything in this room is known to me. It's a definition.
So, May, to answer to your question, is that I stay in Auckland for some time and then the curiosity goes away. I become less curious. Why? Like properly explained by Sachin, that I know comes. So when that I know comes, there is no more knowing, right? What is there more to know? So I will ignore. That ignorance is avidya. I'm ignoring it, which I think is neutral, but I'm ignoring it. I'm not still observing it. The observation is upekha. The ignorance is neutral. And that's the reason it's called adukha asukha vedana.
With moha.
Neither you see, the problem in English is we make it neutral because we don't know what to say to that. But the Pali word is, one second, Dario. The Pali word is adukha asukha vedana. It never says neutral. It says adukha asukha vedana. That means neither pleasurable nor non-pleasurable, or neither pleasurable nor painful. It is not giving you displeasure, it's not giving you pleasure either. That means I come to Auckland and stay at your home and you're taking me around, and then every day I say, wow, wow, wow. And then after a few, not indifferent, sorry, it's not indifferent. That wow feeling is gone. That wow feeling going is neutral, or adukha sukha vedana. I don't know how you're going to interpret to yourself, May. Okay, let's hear
No,
from
I can
Ariel. He's
understand
been.
what's yeah. It does. It's not. It is a dukkha sukha. Yeah, I can
The feeling
understand
of
that.
boredom. The feeling of boredom.
I guess it's
Not
not
even
really.
boredom. Huh?
Yeah, boredom. Yeah. Yeah, just neutral. Yeah, I think neutral is good.
Definitely. Okay.
Yes, sir, you got it.
So I'm wondering if Sachin said, I guess if you look around your familiar room, you're more likely to find a dukkha sukha vedana if you're observant. If you catch the feeling of a sofa you've watched 100 times, I guess you would be able to catch the dukkha sukha vedana.
No, it's not like that. You ignore the obvious and search for something new. If nothing is new, you will ignore forever. Unless something has moved. Let's say I'm here, and by the time I go back home, my wife has moved certain things. By default, it was there. I open my cupboard and I try. Huh? It's not there. I don't even realize that. I don't even see whether it's.
In fact, the good wife is will always replace object from here to there, so that when husband comes, it looks new.
So let's say the donated camera, she thinks that it'll get dirt, so she will keep it somewhere. And then I'm so used to it, I put on the computer and the camera is not there. So I see, what happened to camera? And then there is a frenetic thing. Why? Because there's dukkha already of not finding the camera. I have ignored it. You see this fun? I have ignored it. I'm not in upekha. I'm not in equanimity.
Yeah,
Yes,
I guess my question is, if you force yourself to look at something familiar, are you able to find the dukkha sukha vedana in that? If you're somehow able to catch that feeling of this sofa, which I'm so familiar, it's been here, I don't even want to look. But if I force myself to look,
that's what. That doesn't work. It becomes dukkha. It doesn't become adukha sukha vedana. Anything that you force, including watching the breath, turns itself into a dukkha vedana. Please
Yeah,
understand.
we are forcing to watch breath.
You're already in dukkha, right? So you can't find dukkha, sukha, or asukha, dukkha, vedana in that.
Ariu, you just look at our experience of last year's.
In fact, you are moving your head, even if we told to move. It seems that your purpose is to look, but suddenly if something unknown object comes, you will stick at that. That means you are still moving in search of something unknown.
Okay, I'll give another example. I'm coming by the metro. What is there to see in the metro train? You tell me anything is there worth seeing, but still the eye
Different.
goes like this, eye goes like this, eye goes like this, eye goes like this. Why? It's nothing to do with upekha. It is boredom. So I'm bored of staring like this, so I want to stare here as though I'm going to get something from there. And after something, I'm seeing here. But it's all neutral only, basically. Unless some object, akara, strikes and is different than the other akara, then that thing happens. And when it happens, there are only two choices, either to go behind it or try reject it. So let's say a woman is standing and she looks pretty, but she's dark. And I was looking at a fair one. Everything is good, but not the skin. Okay. Next. Yes.
But what if you thought something's coming by and you thought it's interesting, you looked, but it turned out to be very uninteresting? At this very moment, do you typically get a dukkha, right, instead of a sukha dukkha? Is what you
Which you already answered. I don't have to explain. You already answered it. You liked it, so you looked at it, you got sukha. And now you don't like it, you got dukkha. It is not adukha sukha vedana. I don't know how to explain to you. You'll ignore. You see, I'll tell you, like in your home, now the sofa. You're sitting on the sofa. Do you always touch it and see this is my sofa, or you just sit on the sofa?
sit.
Sit.
See, so-called neutral when you stare, you will not get so neutral because dukkha is nature. So even if you stare at so-called neutral object, just by observing it becomes dukkha.
Because the mind has raga, and it's when it's not fulfilled, it immediately turns into dvesha anyway.
You are forcing mind to stick at one object. Itself is a dukkha. How can you find neutral in that? Just by looking at your fan, which is so far it was neutral, but now you are forcing to see, even is it pain? You cannot find neutral there.
See, you. I will tell you one. It's a good one. Actually, it's like somebody is saying, "Don't look at that girl." There's one girl sitting. Okay, don't look at her. I'm telling you, instantly you look at it. But what was given as a instruction, don't look at the girl. But the curiosity will, that's the reason I used to use that word, curiosity kills the cat. Because you're not supposed to look at the girl, then the next question comes, and what I'm supposed to look at. Right. Now, the more the person says, don't look at the girl, don't look at the girl, don't look at the girl, the interest starts to increase.
And actually, I have defined the meaning of rati, the delight. Rati or some Nandi Raga. The Nandi or rati for me, I have experienced that means delight of seeing. Even if object is ugly, you are seeing it because there is a delight of seeing. The object may be painful, object may be pleasurable, but there is a delight of, there is a relief, there is a freedom to move to the object. That is delight. At least there is a relief. I have some object, even though it is ugly. Even a painful object is a delight to some time. At least it is relieved from the pain of the samadhi.
Exactly. So it's fun. If you were to see, it's like a cartoon show, right? It's basically we are like cartoons. We don't know what exactly we want. You say don't do it, you will end up doing that.
Don't do also, forget. If you just say there is an ugly woman, for example, even then your head will turn.
How ugly it is. I want to see. See, that is, see, I can ignore. Now Sachin has told me so much, I will ignore. I want to see there, but I will just, even if I see there, I will be staring. That is painful. That's the reason it is adukha asukha vedana. It is not upekha. Upekha is you are not running away from that, but you are not taking it as mine or me or anything at all.
Yeah, so
Right?
point
And
is
that is
even adukha asukha, which is less important than upekha. Adukha asukha also, it's tough to find.
yes. Anyway, first thing is you can't find the neutral feeling. Let's take it. Okay, so first our practice should be only on the dukkha sukha to this duality. Best thing, don't break your head. Otherwise, this itself becomes a major trauma of watching the chitta itself. We shouldn't be traumatized.
Yeah, for the sake of practice, we should not find a dukkha sukha. We should
Yeah.
only try to see dukkha and sukha. That's all.
So now Sachin's words are pleasurable or painful? That's my question. No, I want to find neutrality in what Sachin is saying. That is stupidity. It's like, I'm adding another dimension to it and I'm going behind that. No. Fine. If I'm not reacting to what Sachin is saying, it is neutral, but it is not upekha. Please understand. It is not giving me any dukkha, nor it is giving me any sukha, but that doesn't mean that I'm in upekha. I'm still in the Vedana. When will I get into upekha? When I penetrate through this adukha sukha Vedana, then I find this Vedana itself is meaningless. Because the Vedana requires Nama Rupa and that bloody Nama Rupa is removed. Now you see voidness in that. That is Upekha. Imagining Upekha is again Nama Rupa. Because it is another Nama Rupa now. Right? So it is like I'm giving up one illusion to create another illusion. And then I'm saying that no, that illusion is a better illusion or this illusion. But both are illusion only anyway. So that's not the objective. Upekha, that's the reason Buddha talks less about Upekha. He talks more about the Vedana. Because Vedana Samosarana, that is what keeps on rotating. He doesn't talk anything about Upekha. Have you seen even in the Mulaka Sutta? He doesn't say anything about Upekha. Including Vimukti, he talks Vimukti Sara Sabbhe Dhamma. Kim Sara Sabbhe Dhamma. He says Vimukti Sara Sabbhe Dhamma. Vimukti of what? Vimukti of Vedana itself. Who is a Vimukta? Who doesn't have Phassa? That means for Vedana should happen, the Phassa should be there. If you cut that Phassa itself, then you are relieved. What else is there? So if you cut Nama and Rupa with Vijnana, you're done. Over. So let's not go in search of Upekha. Upekha is the end result of it. You shouldn't spend time in going behind adukha sukha vedana. It is like going in a mirage and getting lost in that mirage. Because it is sanya, it's a perception. This adukha sukha vedana is a perception. You're perceiving adukha sukha vedana. So this is a mirage. Okay? Maricha upamancha what? Sanya. So don't go. Then what I should do? Simple, sir. In life, you have only two. Raga, Dvesha. Just beyond that. This is giving me pleasure. Make a note.
Yeah,
This is giving me pain.
that much Cittanupassana is sufficient to begin with for initial years.
Yeah. So if we take too much food, we are going to vomit. Nothing else is going to happen. So let's not take more food than what Buddha can give. That's the reason Buddha also says, I have given Dhamma equivalent to a handful of leaves, which is sufficient for you to get out of samsara. Yes, sir, you go ahead.
I have a small technical question. So this Sauttaram and the Anuttaram, right? The translation given by Sutta Central is not supreme and supreme. Anuttara is supreme. Sauttaram is not supreme. Is that are these opposite? But how you were explaining, you were saying Sauttara is when you can penetrate, and Anuttara is have penetrated. Is that how you explain it?
I think I did a mistake. Thanks. Anuttara Purisa Dhamma Sarati. Yeah, that is the other way around. Sorry. While translating or while bringing in the English words, I mixed it up. Uttara is north. So you are held onto whatever that was. Anuttara is you crossed over.
Yeah, Uttara means going beyond. So
Yeah.
in Indian language, Uttara also means answer, Uttara also means north, and in north we have Himalaya. So that's why we respect so much that all questions are answered in Himalaya. So we generally use that verse for beyond in that time. So going
Yes.
to Himalaya is actually going beyond the world. So
Yeah.
for going beyond, we use Uttara.
Yes, because India is in a plain. Himalayas are the top. So if somebody were to say, show me the top, it's like saying that go to Uttara. Sa Uttara means you're going towards. That means you're still not yet ready. Anuttara is one who has surpassed, he has reached there. So it's a supreme. Thanks for pointing it out. You're perfectly right. But like what Sachin said, that is the meaning in Indian context. That's the reason you have Anuttara used because he surpassed it. It's supreme. Good one.
Okay, cool. Thank you. And another slightly question is that on these, it gives a list, right? It's a long list. Is it somewhat sequential in any way, or somewhat interleaved?
Sequential.
So you
Everything
literally,
is sequential.
so you literally have to go through this. It's a further expansion of mind, in a sense.
No, you take the kiwi fruit. Knowing the kiwi fruit, there is excitement. So there is sarag. I am not getting the kiwi fruit now. Sadosa. Kiwi fruit exists. Samoha. I have understood the kiwi fruit. Vitaraga. I know what is a kiwi fruit. Vitadosa. I know what is the actual meaning of kiwi fruit. Vitamoha. Okay, these three have happened. Now we go on the other parts. Next one, what it is. If you see, then he talks about the attributes of that, right? So what are the attributes of that? Sankhita, and now constricted only to this kiwi fruit. Vikhita, it is scattered. How the taste would be, how it would be when more I can get, etc. More is on the greed, but how I can get it is Vikhita. When I have understood it for itself, what is the kiwi fruit is Mahagata. So I have expanded beyond what it is. Amahagata is that I am not able to expand myself on the knowledge of that kiwi fruit. Then Sa Uttara, we already spoke about that. That means I'm still trying to figure out what this kiwi fruit is. Anuttara is I have already understood what that kiwi fruit is. Samahitam is my mind is in equanimous or in a samadhi. Asamahitam is that I could not enter into samadhi after eating that fruit. Vimuktam is that I don't like to eat any more kiwi fruit because I am experienced the kiwi fruit. It's done. Vimukta. If I eat one kiwi fruit or 100 kiwi fruit, it is the same.
The Sankhitten I can change a little bit. It's you are focused on the kiwi or how you are not focused on the kiwi.
Fine. So Sankhita means you're constricting your mind only to that object. You just want to know more and more and more of that object.
Single-minded people. I want kiwi at any cost. He's booking the flight going to New Zealand, etc. He's Sankhitten on kiwi fruit.
After this session, I'm going to book my flight ticket to Auckland. That is Sankhita. And I'm scattered all over for that kiwi fruit is Vikit. I don't mind doing hundreds of sankharas to get into that eating that kiwi fruit in New Zealand. And then May will say, Vilas, I think you're a stupid person. You're going to spend so many dollars just to eat one kiwi fruit. Like that, how many people do it? They go for camera, they want to shoot something, they go from here, there, wherever, just for one shot. They will go something. They want to see one wild animal, wild or a bird or something. There are birdies, so they just go somewhere like one crazy fellows, like that.
Everyone is constricted on one or two things. Some people are very much fanatic about the beautiful marriage arrangements. They are planning for years and years for a good house or a car or this or that. They are constricted on that. Their mind is always talking about car.
Right. So it's 10 o'clock. So I need to end. Yeah. Last question. Go ahead.
Yeah, just to finish up your thread, right? So you go from the greed to hatred to no delusion. Then it goes from constricted to not constricted. Then it goes to from unexpanded to expanded. Then it goes from not supreme to supreme. Then it goes from not in samadhi into samadhi, and it goes from not freed into freed, or freed into further freed. Right? I think you explained the vimutti also first. You say vimutti is freed, and avimutti is even
What?
beyond freed or something.
No. Vimukta is freed. Avimukta means not freed.
Okay, so you go
I've
from not freed to freed, and that's it. If
no,
vimutti is the
freed to
last.
not freed. Again, I want to eat the kiwi fruit. So again, I'm
Okay.
caught up.
You get caught up again.
Okay. Good night and good day and good evening.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you. And thanks for your kiwi fruit, May. I enjoyed it.
Welcome.
Okay. Bye bye.